question one more time.
Okay. So the question is, I've never been able to ask for money, and it's more of a fear because the most I've ever been able to ask is in a garage sale when I was younger for like 75 cents. So the question would be, how do I overcome this fear of asking people for money and being able to give them value, but at the same time being able to give me value as well?
I love that question. I actually had the same question when I joined Amplified Minds. I was actually very similar to you. I hadn't sold anything. I mean, I had sold like fundraiser cards for a football team, but it was like an easy buy because parents always wanted to support their young kid, and they didn't even use the little cards or whatever. But I had the same concerns because I grew up in a marketing world. I knew what social media was about, but I never actually sold things. The truth of it all is that the second you start to feel like you're selling something, you put a monetary number behind it and you feel like you've created a transactional relationship with you and someone else. Okay. So the philosophy that we teach and what we want people to understand is you don't have to sell a thing. You don't have to sell anything because selling isn't evil. Selling is amazing. It's an opportunity to give people what they need. But what selling creates in our minds is this thing that, maybe if I wouldn't buy it, maybe someone else wouldn't buy it. Or if it's out there, I don't know if it's something that someone's going to, buy or engage in. So the first thing you'd have to do is to recognize that there's a little bit of a paradigm switch that we need to make. And you're not selling anybody anything. You're enrolling people. And that's the new word I'd like you to use is enroll people in something that they need. Okay. Because when you enroll people, you're inviting them to be a part of something that's going to better their life. Okay. And when you do that, you've created value for them through something that may cost them money, through something that may cost them time, which is also a form of money, and may cost them resources, which is also a form of money, right? So we're inviting them to enroll in something that is going to help them. Now, the resource in your case is a mastermind. And let's say it's $150 to join this mastermind. What you want to do is you want to invite people to the value of that mastermind, okay? You don't have to sell them. You don't have to tell them how much it is, and that's not like a passive selling tactic or anything. All you have to share is what you're inviting them to do. And if asked what the price is, you say, well, it's enough to cover my costs and to help me help you the most, to give me the most valuable resources possible so that I can give you the most value possible. But what you're trying to do is you want to enroll people. So the way you do it is you constantly, continuously, repetitively talk about the value that you're providing. And you do that by sharing your story, testimonials, and the methodologies to which you'll be doing to help people. You also want to share the value that others are gaining. Now, if no one has been enrolled, just assume that Jon is somebody who's been a part of this. You can leverage other people's names, other people's stories, but essentially, everyone has to start from scratch somewhere. But don't feel like you have to sell anything. All you have to do is invite people to enroll, because if they've enrolled in you, then they've signed up for a journey, right? And that's kind of the thing, there's the 3 levels of influence, right? We've been over this before. The first level is transactional, and transactional is when I have something that I need to sell and I need to make money off of it, right? So I'm just going to blast it out to the world and say, hey world, anyone want to buy, right? That's the transaction. And then someone may or may not buy, and there it is. There's the relationship. They may or may join, they may or may not. But if you go up a level and you develop relationships on a reciprocal level, it's, look, I have this mastermind and you probably have a certain need. Your need is, I want to develop confidence. I need to find myself. Well, Willie, I am Willie, and I am really good at helping people recognize and understanding how to find their true self and then becoming that light and then using it for good. Okay. And whatever that is, I'm going to show you how to do it. We have a myriad of events, meetings, and exercises that we're going to do together, as well as some education that I'm going to provide. And that is the value that I'm bringing today. Now, my reciprocal agreement with you is I have the education and I have something that can help you overcome the challenges and help you develop confidence in your life. The trade is if you come, this is what you're going to walk away with, and this is what you'll potentially be as a result. There's a reciprocal agreement there that, hey, if you come, I will provide. And then, there's a transaction in there, but it's not the selling point. The selling point is never the price. I am frustrated when I go to the grocery store because my wife is like, oh, this is such a good deal. We have to get this. And I told her, babe, the price isn't my selling point. The selling point to me is, what will I enjoy? What will be of most value to me? What is going to provide me the most comfort and enjoyment and love? It's not going to be this on sale banana. It's going to be this ruby, delicious red tomato, right? Whatever it is,
Right.
it's what's going to bring me the most joy. And I look for the reciprocal agreement on that. It's not selling, it's coming to terms with what I actually want versus what is actually on sale. You know what I mean? And so when people use price as an incentive, I know I'm being sold to, and it's harder for me to make a decision, especially millennials, because millennials want to touch, taste, feel, smell, wear it. They want to figure out what it is before they pay, because they want to engage and they're used to being able to try things on before they buy. And that's kind of the same thing that we have to do, is give them the experience, show them the value up front, and say, this is worth every penny if you come and you try this. And then there's the third level of influence, which is perpetual, which you can build through the reciprocal or right away. You can say, hey, look, I'm giving out free resources. I'm giving out my Rolodex. I'm giving out my network and my connections. And I just want you to join me for this mastermind. And I expect nothing in return, except for there's a small fee. But the return is that you create value, but by providing value up front. It's the same thing that Gary Vaynerchuk says in his book, Jab, 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 Right Hook, right? It's give value, and then ask for something. But don't ask for anything until you've given exponential value first, repeatedly, so that the ask stands out above the others, but is intertwined into the process. So that's kind of my immediate answer is, don't sell anything. Well, Jon, how do I make money? Enroll people in the value that you're providing. And the way that you do that is you accelerate your sales by creating a communication script that invites people to enjoy value, to enjoy a particular outcome. So think of the outcome of your intention. The reason why you're making this mastermind isn't to make money, though the money is going to help you and it's going to help you make an income. The reason why you're providing this mastermind is because you want to help people through what you've learned and what you know and what you're trying to do. And that's the selling point. That's the enrollment factor. That's what you want to create as a result of helping people. My name is Willie Blake, and I am hosting a mastermind for people to come and learn about their inner light, to read books that are of value, to find content and to discuss those things with other people. The important piece about all of this is that you're going to walk away having more confidence, more clarity, and more euphoric experiences in your life, because you have chosen to join a community that's going to be relentless about your life and your success. And this group's going to support you. All of that, join our community. The community is Willie Blake Light. And as a result, you will walk away a different person. click the link below and let's chat. Let's have a conversation before you get to come and enjoy this group. And we will challenge you and we will help you achieve all the goals that you set out to achieve.
Okay.
What other questions do you have? Because that was a bomb question. Everyone needs to know that. And
that was a bomb answer.
and there are different ways to describe it too, but enrollment is the easiest one for me because it is so easy for me to sign up for a free mastermind, or so easy for me to sign up for free books, ebooks. I download so many ebooks, it's ridiculous, but it's because I'm enrolling in an education. They're sharing value. Okay, I'll take my social security card. Like, dude, I don't care. Like, I want the information, and it's what I'm being sold on. But I don't feel that way. I feel as though I'm getting to the point where I am able to enroll people and be enrolled in a lot of things. Do you remember the bank code?
Yeah. Vaguely.
Vaguely.
I remember the 4 cards that we looked at.
Yeah.
With the bank code.
I'd be happy to share with you some of the things that they use to learn how to use it for selling. It's basically one-on-one communication between someone, learning what their values are, and then using that to help them enroll in things that are of value to them. I think it's a really effective system. We have cards that we could probably give you as well. But essentially, learning the bank system is a great way to also learn to be a better salesperson. We have a book called The Mindset of a Successful Seller. Have I given you that ebook yet?
No.
Oh, I'll send it to you. Yeah, mine's a book called Mindset of a Successful Seller. And we took the concepts of our 5 favorite books on selling, and we took the concepts and we elaborate those deeper. And I'll share that with you.
Awesome. That'd be great.
I'm just trying to think what else is helpful in this regard.
So if you could, the process to enroll people, let's say that you add the value and they love it and they want it, what then?
Great question. And let's do some role playing here, and let's also talk a little bit about the step-by-step process, because I know what I threw out was all theory and it's all information. But let's actually walk away from this discussion with kind of a how-to. Like, Willie knows exactly what he needs to do from the end of this conversation. Okay, so let's make sure we don't skip over that. It's super easy to teach. It's super difficult to create step-by-step. Let's create a step-by-step, because that's going to be the challenge today, right? So people want it, right? People want it. The next thing you have to do is think of, and you've served a mission. You've probably seen how sales work, and you've probably heard of the pipeline method, right? You've got to funnel leads into a pipeline. That pipeline makes it through. Some of them leak out. Some of them don't make it to the end, and then the pipeline spits out the winners at the end, right?
Right.
So in the pipeline theory, what you need to do is you need to have more people in your pipeline based on what you're selling in order to gain the amount. Let's just pretend for a minute that your capacity for a mastermind group is 10 people, okay? 10 people, and I don't know what your prices are, but I'm just going to throw it out there. Let's just say $100. It's $100 for 6 months, something like that. I don't know. But your goal is to sell a monthly or a annual or a semi-annual package, and your capacity is 10. And let's say that sales is a numbers game. I don't believe in that, but I believe in abundance. And so what that means is we need to probably bring in 20 to 30 leads to close 10 people, to enroll 10 people into your mastermind program. So what we need to do is we have one person who's interested. We need to jump on a call with that person, because the best way to close anyone is to get on a call with them and personally talk with them through the process. Now, this is where it probably comes of discomfort to you, because in this conversation, you have to sell them, close them, and get their credit card information to swipe, right? Whatever it might be, we can create a process that eliminates the need to feel like you've sold somebody to be on the other line of the transaction. If that's the hard part, let's just eliminate that by creating a system or a process. But if it's what you actually want to learn how to do, then let's talk about that. Which one are you more in favor to do?
Can you repeat that? Well, I don't know if your mic is soft or my speaker is.
Yeah, let me grab my headphones.
It's a little hard to hear you.
Yeah, let me grab my headphones. All right, so the question was, there are two processes that we can go through. The first one is if you don't necessarily want to make the close or the sale, and you'd like to create like a system or a process for them to go and swipe their card, use a PayPal, just kind of like a non-aggressive transaction, we can go down that route, and we can talk about creating a process for you that allows them to just do the transaction without you being involved. Or if it's you're trying to become a better salesperson by being able to learn those things, take credit cards over the phone and to close the sale, we can go down that road as well. Which one are you more in favor of? Do you want to take the route of creating a system or process for them to make the transaction themselves? Or do you want to be able to sell the deal over the phone and grab their information?
I personally ultimately would like over the phone. Okay. And me involved, mostly because I know that if I just leave it up to them, that a lot of the times it just won't happen and doubts will start coming in. So when they go through the process to sign up and whatnot, that'll kind of stop them from doing it.
Totally understood. And there's nothing wrong with either one. So let's go down that road. Because I could just easily teach you how to create a Stripe or a PayPal account and then just like send them the link and say, hey, here's the price we agreed on. Go and fill this out and I'll see you at the next mastermind. But instead we need to close them on the phone. So what I like to do in my relationship building is two things. I like to get them on the phone. I like to get them on the phone for us to talk everything through and for me to ask questions, because ideally you want to have the right people in this mastermind, right? You don't want to have the freakazoids that are going to consume the conversations by sharing way too much information, inappropriate or explicit information. There's a vetting process, right? You want to have your ideal clients in the room, but at the same time, you don't want to turn away the right people. So all in all, you have one person who's interested in the mastermind. You set up a breakthrough call or a breakthrough session where you're going to talk with them a little bit about who they are, get them talking about their life and their challenges, and then you get to say to them, hey, based on what you've shared with me, I know that this mastermind is going to help you because we do this activity, because we provide this content, we do this stuff together. And I can assure you that, if you do these 100%, you're going to walk away a different person. And these are some of the things that I am projecting that people will gain as a result of this mastermind. Then they say, yeah, that's awesome. They say, great. How would you like to pay for it? I can take your credit card over the phone and I'm going to just insert it into this secure network and it'll just email you the receipt and we'll be good from there. After that, they usually say, oh, okay, yeah. Does credit card work? And you're like, yeah. And all you got to do is collect the information, type it in, and then it'll send them an automatic reply. And all you have to do is just have like a PayPal or something set up so that it registers for that. Our friends over here at Merchant Solution Services can also set you up with like a merchant processing account, but you probably don't need it unless you're charging like $30,000-$40,000 or something. So. But yeah, that's the first tactic. And before we move on to the next one, let's practice that one and let's see how best it feels. Okay. So we're going to role play. Are you excited?
Always.
Okay. So, just given that little script, and let me just revise the script again. And I want you to play, is you're going to get me on the phone and you're going to ask me questions about me and what I'm working through or who I am. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and what I'm trying to do and some of my challenges. And then you're going to turn around and you're going to say, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate your vulnerability. As a result of this mastermind group, I can assure you that this is what you're going to learn and this is what you're going to walk away with which it sounds like is a direct answer to what your challenges are. And as a result, you'll be a contributor to this community and so forth. Basically share with them the value that they will gain and the value that they will contribute as a result of joining your mastermind. Is that clear?
Okay.
And then you have to ask the hard question, which is, how would you like to pay for it? I can take your credit card over the phone right now.
Okay.
All right, cool. I am Billy. I am Billy Wake. I am Billy Wake, not Willie Blake. I am Billy Wake, and I have contacted you on Facebook because I am interested in what your videos have been saying and something you mentioned about a mastermind group, and I'm curious. So let's have a short conversation. We'll role play this. I'll give you my honest opinions, and let's do our best. But yeah, just remember, drive the value, listen, and promise the value in return.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so Billy Wake, thanks for letting me jump on a call with you. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Yeah, I saw your videos on Facebook, and I just wanted to chat with you and kind of see what's going on.
That's awesome. Like, yeah, everything that I post, like, I definitely believe in. And you're talking about the mastermind, but before I get into that, I wanted to kind of learn more about you. Like, what's your story to who you are today?
I am working a 9-to-5. I have a wife and a kid and a cat, and all of those things. I just feel like I'm wasting away. Sometimes I feel like my 9-to-5 is my life, even though I have more dreams and aspirations. I'd rather be hiking in the mountains or doing fun things with my family as often as I can, but I just can't seem to get away because of work. They ask a lot of me, and I don't get paid nearly as much as I should, but I think I'm on the uppity with climbing the ranks of this organization, and yeah, this is kind of where I'm at. I'm trying to figure that out.
Okay, yeah. Like I remember when I had a 9-to-5 job, I kind of had the same thing. I didn't know if I was wanting to go up the ladder of success or kind of go off to what my passion was. So you sound like you kind of have a little struggle. Why do you want to kind of leave your 9-to-5 job and go more towards traveling and that?
Oh man, it's just a dream. I mean, when I got married, my wife and I had these dreams of seeing the world together, and she's my favorite person to travel with, and I know that my grandma will take care of my cat. So all of that said, I have always wanted to just better, be a provider for my family and have access so that we can have fun. I grew up traveling with my parents. My parents did very, very well. I know her parents did too. And I just feel like maybe I'm the failure. Maybe I'm not providing. And I know I'm young and there's still time and whatnot, but I don't know. I kind of don't want to sacrifice now and live later. I kind of want to live in the moment. And so
Sure.
we just struggle, excuse me. We just struggle to really just find an extra dime to do fun things. Instead, we just find ourselves at home watching Netflix.
Yeah, I know that. I know how that feels, Billy. My wife and I have those moments too. So with that, before I go into one other thing, why are you interested in the mastermind?
You mentioned something about you mentioned something about meeting with other people who are like-minded, and you also mentioned something about fulfilling your goals and dreams. And I was just curious because I mean, I want to be able to provide for my family, but I also want to travel. I don't think they have to be two in the same. I mean, I'll work hard and do what I have to, but it would be nice to be able to just do that now. And so my interest was just kind of what you said about maybe achieving some goals, having kind of like a coach behind it all. That all sounds interesting and familiar to me, but I just don't know how much it'll cost. Most of those things I know cost a lot of money. And like I said, I want to spend that money on traveling, but I also want to be able to progress. So I'm just kind of at a loss right now. I don't really know what to do or how to do it.
Yeah, for sure, Billy. And like, I love this mastermind because when it was created, it was for that community of people who are that like-minded. Like, you have the desire to reach your dreams. And that's more than most people, because they have their dreams, but then they stay with what they feel like they need to do to provide for their family. But the thing is, you don't need to do that. You can honestly have both. You can provide for your family, and you can go and travel everywhere, just like you did with your parents. You can have that same experience for your family, so that your kid right now, that they can have that traveling experience like you had. This mastermind, and I love how it's set up, because it's really the community. And when you come, you're able to sit down with like-minded people who are also achieving what their dreams are. That could be, automobile. They could want to be traveling like you. I know for me, I want to be an influencer like Tony Robbins. We all have different goals and dreams, but we're all there together to achieve them. And so when you come, we sit down and we have tools and we have activities that we do. We interact with each other. And it's not a place to where you just say a problem and then sit down and it goes to the next person. You stand up, you say, this is where I'm at right now, and I don't know where to go. And then all of us around, we talk to you and say, well, have you thought of this? Or maybe you can try this, and kind of just bounce ideas off. So it's not really a monologue from one person, but it's that dialogue from everyone. And so I love that you're interested in the mastermind, because it can really provide that value for you, so that you can be able to travel. Let's say in a couple of years, you'll be able to find your passion, which is traveling. You'll be able to find your why so specific that you get it down to just one word. And that will help drive you, so that after you work your 9-to-5 job, the extra time, instead of you feeling like you don't have any hope in life, that you take that Netflix time with your wife. And maybe if you watch 3 to 4 hours now, you can just take 1 hour out and then work towards what you love and your passion, so that you can actually make the money to be able to go out and travel with your family. And it's something that's not that hard. It's really just the ambition that you have. And I see the ambition in you. I see that you want to go, and that you care so much about your family, and you care so much about your dream, that you just want to go out and experience it. And so let's get you to the mastermind. Sound good?
Yeah, it sounds awesome. I'm very, very interested in this, and I think that this would be something of value. I appreciate you sharing your thoughts and your ideas. If there was a way to do it faster than 2 years, that would be great, and I'm sure that there is. But I think this would be a good use of my time, so that I can, I don't know, actually, progress. I don't want to be stuck anymore.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you, Billy. And like you can do it faster than 2 years. It's just all up to you and how much drive you have. And this community of people and this mastermind that you're going to come to this next week is going to start you on that path, so that you can start traveling. Sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Awesome. There's a small little fee that goes with it. And so do you want to pay by credit card or debit card? How do you want to pay for it?
I could probably pay over credit card.
Okay, awesome. I have this secure place right here that I can be able to enter your information right now, and then I'll be able to email you the receipt about the price, and then also the place and a little definition of the why the mastermind is there. Sound good?
Cool. Sounds good.
Awesome. Let's enter it.
All right, deal. Okay, Willie,
Okay.
that was awesome. Great role play. Let me give some feedback and some criticism, and we could either retry it or we can do some good stuff. I thought that went very well. You listened, and that was the most important part, because that's all people care about, is they want to know that you've heard them. Then you related their feelings and their challenges to the group and how it could provide value. So you did all that great. And then getting to the, how does that sound? The invitation actually felt really good. It was like, so how does that sound to you? Is that something you want to do? Yeah, absolutely. Getting me to say yes is most important, right? And as you get them talking more, they're more inclined to say yes, because they feel the value. And then the criticism I would give is, I could sense the urge, the tightness on the invitation to, how do you want to pay for that?
And that's like, in all honesty, that was the first time I've ever invited anyone to say, hey, let me take your information and get in that.
Yeah.
It felt really weird doing it.
It is a weird one. It is a weird one. And I'll tell you word for word what you said and how it felt. So you said there's a tiny little fee that's associated with this as a group. And would you like to pay that fee via a credit card or a debit card? To me, immediately I was like, ooh, there's a fee. Like, the word fee makes me feel like there's an extra charge, right? There's something beyond, like a late credit card fee or something like that. A fee isn't necessarily my go-to. But if I just simply ask the question, that's awesome. Thank you, Billy. I'm excited for you to join the group. Now, how would you, I was just trying to think if there was another way to add this, but essentially the question is how would you like to pay for it? I can take your card over the phone here and enter it into a secure line, and it'll send you a receipt and a description of the event and the invitation to the first session. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That way it's less of you stumbling and having to feel like, okay, there's a small little fee and, I have to justify everything we talked about. You don't have to justify anything, because remember, what you just did before you asked the question is you're enrolling them in this exciting thing. They've said yes to you by saying, yeah, that sounds awesome. Yes, this will help me. Yes, I feel like this is the group that's going to help me get past my challenges. So now that I've said yes several times, how would you like to pay for it? Oh, I can't say yes to that. Yes, here's a credit card. Okay, that's the process. That's how it goes through as a consumer, and it's not dirty. It's not scammy. It's nothing like that. It's just business. And the way that we do that is it is not the pinnacle of the close. It is the smallest process of the enrollment process. Okay. Because all that is it's the transactional part of the reciprocal agreement. And we just need to get it done and as quick as possible so that it's not the focus. Okay. No one should focus on the price. No one should focus on it. Now, maybe they're going to ask,
Right.
Maybe you say, how would you like to pay for this? I can take your card over the phone. We have I have a secure system that's going to send you a receipt and an invitation to the first meeting. They're going to say, yeah, how much is it again? And say, for the first month, it's $150. Would you like to pay? And you just go back to the question. Would you like to pay with that via credit card? Or we have alternative solutions, and I can tell you about those later. But you just go back to the question, because if they want to know, like, oh, is it like $12,000? No one's going to pay for that. But I remember paying for something, and here's a little me disclosing information I probably shouldn't share. But I paid for something that was worth $12,000, and I didn't know the price. Going to the end, the person who sold me, they were awesome. I loved talking to them on the phone. They were incredible. And then we got to the end. They're like, how would you like to pay for it? And I was like, yeah, I've got a credit card. And they're like, okay, the total will be $12,000. You can pay that in full, or you can pay it in installments, and here it is. And I was like, let's do installments, because I just don't have 12 grand sitting around. And we both joked about it, and we were like, okay, let's set it up through this. Well, what time? And it was just really, really quick.
Right.
And I remember being done, and I don't remember feeling like I just gave up a fortune. I just remember it being a quick process of the enrollment session that I just had with somebody, and I knew I was going to get value out of it. So even with $12,000, no, $100 or $150 is nothing. Now, is it $150 a month, or is it $150 for like a time period?
For my mastermind, It's crap. I don't even remember the price. I think I set it at $100, and it's just per session. So so it's just the beta test that's going on right now. So just for this event, it's $100.
Awesome. And it's funny, when you put 2 zeros behind a number, people freak out. But the second you say $97, they feel like they're getting a bargain. And so sometimes if you go under $100, just FYI, it's psychology. I read a book called Neuromarketing, and the psychology behind it is if it's less than $100, then they feel like they're getting value out of it. for their money. So something to consider. You don't have to, but if it's $99, if it's $97, $98, people at 97 are like, oh my gosh, that's like almost $90, which is less than 100, which is almost 50. You know what I mean? So like
Right.
that's the way brains work. But to not feel like you sold somebody, let's practice that last part one more time. Okay. And the question is awesome, Billy. I'm grateful that you're going to join our group. I know that you're going to learn a lot and that this is going to transform your life so that you and your wife can travel more with your child. How would you like to pay for this? I have a secure network on the other side. I can take your credit card information. That'll send you a receipt and the invitation to our first meeting. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. Practice on me. I'm Billy Wake.
That's awesome, Billy. Sounds great. And I'm glad you're interested in the mastermind because it can really help you and your wife and kid be able to travel just like you and your parents traveled. So, crap.
You're good. You're good. I know it is so hard, but the second you feel okay doing this, it takes practice. Okay. Don't be ashamed. Don't feel embarrassed. Don't do anything. Okay. This is
It's not ashamed. It's just the transit. It didn't. The transition didn't feel like natural. Just going from like stop right here and then going to the next thing.
cool.
But I guess that just comes with practice.
It comes with practice, but the way it needs to feel natural is you're enrolling them. Okay. You're not selling them anything. It's not a fee. It's not a price. What you're doing is you're getting them involved by helping them enroll into this class, into this course, into this mastermind. It's the trade that they have to make in order to get the value. Okay. They're giving you your time. You're going to give them value. Keep thinking of it as I am going to help you get over your challenges, just like I did. Now, the way you do that is you've got to enroll in this class. And the way you enroll is, how would you like to pay for that? There is a secure line on the other side that I'll enter your information, and I'll send you a receipt and the invitation to the first mastermind. Okay. It's so quick because you want to get to look, there's a transaction, but it's going to send you the invitation to the first mastermind. Those are the keywords, right? I'm going to give you the invitation to the next meeting, which is the value. It's not the money. It's not the transaction. This is how you get the invitation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. It's hard and it doesn't feel natural at first. But what you're doing is you're saying, Billy, I know that this group is going to be awesome for you. And I'm super excited for you to contribute and to be part of this community because you're going to walk away having felt something different and having more opportunities than you knew were possible so that you and your wife can travel. Now, how would you like to pay for this experience? Would you like to pay with a credit card? I can take it over the phone now. And as a part of your receipt, I'm going to send you the invitation to the first mastermind.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. You want to give it another try?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Let's do it.
Okay. That's awesome, Billy. I can see the excitement that's in you, and I can't wait to enroll you right now. So how do you want to pay for that? I could take your credit card information over the phone right now, and as we do it, we'll send you a receipt. We'll put it in a secure place. We'll send you a receipt, and I'll send you the invitation to the first mastermind.
Awesome. Okay.
Sweet.
Let's do it one more time. The invitation is the most important part. It's the experience, right? It's getting to the first meeting. So you're not excited about the payment part. You're excited about the next step. Okay. So Billy, that's awesome. I know that this group is going to help you and I can see you and your wife traveling within a year. Okay. How would you like to pay for this experience? I can take your credit card information right now. And then when I get you your information, the receipt that I will send you is going to have the invitation to the first mastermind, which I'm super excited for you to be a part of. So let's do this. How would you like to pay for it? Right?
Right.
Okay. Do it again. Have more excitement. Your excitement needs to be centered on the first mastermind, getting you to the experience, feeling like you're getting the value. I can see you traveling in a year. I can see you achieving your goals and dreams, overcoming those challenges by getting to the first mastermind. So how do you want to pay for this?
Okay.
Okay, do it again.
Billy, I am so excited for you. I see your passion. I see your dreams. I just see it coming true just for you. And I want you to get to this mastermind as quick as you can. And I want to enroll you right now. So how do you want to pay for it? I could take your credit card over the phone right now. And with that, we'll put it in a secure place, and it'll be able to send you a receipt to make you get that first invitation, that first mastermind, so that you can be able to experience your dreams and connect with those people who you want to connect with. So how do you want to pay for it?
Good. Now you're selling it. Now that's being, is it starting to feel more natural the more you practice it?
Yeah, it feels more natural.
Okay. Because remember, Willy Wonka, okay? Do you follow me? Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Golden ticket, okay? They have no idea what the process, the sacrifice, what it's going to take to get the golden ticket, but they got the golden ticket. Billy, I've got the golden ticket for you. The thing that's going to get you to the mastermind so that you and your wife can travel this year. Okay. So you don't have to worry about work. Maybe you'll fix your 9 to 5. Maybe you'll fix all the things you have. That's what we're doing. Now, how would you like to pay for that? You know, the pay part is just a simple part of the dream. It's the end. It's the experience. It's the enrollment of what you're trying to give people. Don't feel like you're selling people on a price. That's what
right.
Leave that to grocery stores, okay? What you're doing is you're enrolling people in the outcome of their experience. And that's what you have to believe. That's what selling is all about. It's not about a price. It's not about a transaction. It's not about getting to that point where I have to have the awkward conversation of getting their information. That information doesn't stay anywhere. It goes straight from over the phone to a secure system. And even then you can say, awesome, thanks for your information, Billy. Did you get that receipt? Can you check your email right now? I want to make sure that we don't hang up before you get that, because I want to make sure you've got the invitation. Okay. Then that section of the payment part was so small compared to the luxurious and exciting part of the invitation to the first mastermind. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. And I promise you it'll feel better and natural over time. And the first one you'll be surprised. And I gave you a hard time on the first one because it was like super kind of painful and whatnot. But that's because I was watching for that. You know, I was waiting for that. Even if you had done what you first done, you probably would have gotten their information. You probably would have sold it anyways. And I hope that makes you feel more confident, because I was waiting for that moment for you to sell me on it so I could critique you. But the average consumer is going to either fumble around that and say, oh, I wasn't expecting a price. Oh, I didn't see that coming. Or they're going to be like, oh, yeah. How much is it? And they'll give you some feedback, right? Feedback is good. Feedback is good. And you say,
Feedback's always good.
Yeah, feedback's good. Oh, it's $100. And then when you pay for it, you don't want to just say $100 and let the line go quiet. You know, you want to say it's $100. And the second you pay for it, I'm going to send you a receipt with the invitation to the first mastermind so that you can get started on your goals and get working towards traveling with your wife and kid. Does that make sense?
Sweet. Yeah, it makes sense. So all in all, the more passionate you are about it, the more you know about the product, and the more value that you understand and are able to provide for them, the easier it is to close on the product or the service or the value of it.
Yeah, because you're not closing a service, you're not closing a product, you're closing on the value of the outcome of their experience, right? You're selling an experience. You're selling something that's giving them the results to the challenges that they're facing. And the way you overcome that is by providing the value. And there's a transaction behind it, but you're enrolling them in that system. So you nailed it. Exactly.
Sweet. And see, without the critique of doing the role play, see, that's why I love role plays, even though I always get nervous before role plays. And I'm pretty sure everyone, besides like a handful of people on earth, get nervous before role plays. Like, I would have kept using the word fee. I would have not had any practice with it. And just the advice, like, just like you said, feedback's good.
Feedback is good. Well, I'm glad this was helpful. I'm going to stop recording here.